everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peggy and I run Eli Marie Studios here on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Etsy as well. And I'm jumping on today with a quick spring project share for everybody. I live in New England. I think I've mentioned a couple times in some of my videos, and it's been a very wet, very dreary, overcast end of the winter season for us, which is usually pretty typical. But I think this year more than others, I don't know, I needed a little spring in my life and a little sunshine. So I pulled out all of my spring and my Easter supplies and yeah, got to crafting. So I have a couple of projects that I'll be kind of rolling out over the next couple of weeks to show you guys, but this is the first one. So I wanted to hop on and show you what I made. So I used Echo Park's, let me see, Echo Park's Welcome Easter collection. I used two collections, and you can probably see that one here, but Welcome Easter was the majority of the collections that I used for this project. It pulled in all of the bright, happy, sunny colors and, you know, vibes that I wanted in my life at the time. And it definitely did the trick. It kind of brought that cheery spring feel to my life a little bit. So I used this for the majority of the album, but then I also supplemented with this Dots and Stripes gingham. It's the spring gingham collection from Echo Park. I've had this in my stash for a while, and I pulled it out specifically. This is the first spring I've used it, and it's great. I absolutely love this paper. It's got this kind of bigger check on one side and the smaller gingham print on the other, and I've used it for a couple projects and will definitely be ordering more when this runs out. So what I made, this is a 4x6 tri-fold mini album. The cover measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. This spine here is 1 1/4 inches by 6 1/4, and then this is 1 inch by 6 1/4 inches. So I bound everything in this really pretty pastel pink paper. I got this from Joann's, and like always, I will link all of the materials that I mentioned that I used in the description box down below. However, there's a big however here. I do not recommend this pink paper. I found it extremely hard to work with. This is just the, oh, I can't remember the name. I will link it down below. Like I said, Paper Lane, I think it's Joann's brand of craft supplies. But this paper is definitely not as, you know, the quality is not as high as Michael's cardstock. It's just 65 pound. And with Michael's, I can fold it, I can score, I can glue, and there's, you know, largely there are no problems at all. But I had a much more difficult time with the Joann's paper. So just kind of word to the wise, I found it ripped really easily. So I don't know if you can see, yeah, up here, there's a couple spots where I'm gonna have to go back and kind of glue those down to make sure the integrity of the album is still in place. But I think the biggest thing I noticed was that glue did not adhere easily to this paper. I had to use so much more glue than I normally do. And I use the Barely Art, well, I use a combination. I use Barely Art glue, and then I also use the Art Glitter glue, and both of these are great. I absolutely love these. I've had no problems with them whatsoever on any other project, but this paper in particular, it didn't matter what I was gluing down. I had to use more than I usually do and a lot more pressure than I usually do. So that is true for the glitter cardstock. It's true for Echo Park's collection. So the only common denominator here was definitely the pink paper. So I don't know. I found it hard to work with. If anyone else has had a different experience or knows of another glue that works better with this paper, please let me know. I am open to suggestions because I really did like the color, and that was what drew me to it. I liked this pastel pink over Michael's set of pinks. So if anyone has any tips or tricks to make this paper a little bit easier to work with, please send them my way. Feel free to drop them in the comments. So like I said, everything was bound in this pink paper, and then I paper matted just about everything with this silver glittery cardstock, and I just get this from Michael's. So I will link that down below as well. So I just paper pieced on the cover, and then I added one of the cut-aparts from the collection and popped it up on some, oops, can you see? Yeah, I popped it up on some foam tape I added a couple of stickers from the sticker collection, or the sticker sheet rather, and then some paper flowers that I found at Michael's. Oh yeah, and then some enamel dots. These are also from Echo Park. I think it's from another collection. I think maybe one of the baby album or baby collections, baby paper collections. I can't remember. If I can find a pretty close color match, I will link it down in the description below. And then just some ribbon in my stash. I think I got this from Michael's, I don't know, long time ago. Well, before I started making albums. So I figured, yeah, I liked the color combination with this paper. So when you open the album, it looks like this on the first page. So this is just a flip up magnetized closure, and I added some more of the ribbon as a pull tab. I really liked this Easter egg print. This collection had a lot of really nice plaids and ginghams in it as well. So I used some of the Easter egg paper here and then plaid for a pocket down here. I added a sticker down below. It says Happy Easter. It kind of covers my magnet a little bit. I'm using a different kind of magnet than I usually do, and again, not a huge fan of them. I think the profile of them is a lot thicker, so it tends to show through my paper a little bit more. So I used a sticker to kind of cover up the little shadow where you could see a little bit of the magnet. So inside this pocket, I put a couple of the cut-aparts. So this one just says Easter. This one says Funny Bunny. And then I had some leftover paper. I really liked the little rabbits. So this is a 4x6. This one's a 4x4, and then this is a 3x4. So these all live right in here, in this pocket. And then this just closes on top. On this side, I added a sticker from the sticker sheet, and I popped it up on some cardstock and on some glitter cardstock as well, and then just made it a tuck spot. So I included I think this is a little bit bigger than a 3x4, but it says Happy Easter, and it just tucks right in there. When you open up the album, I added a waterfall. This is a 4x4 waterfall in the center, and this is where I pulled in some of the Dots and Stripes gingham collection. So that is there. This one has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 spots for photos plus the back. So you technically could do 12 here. And then there is a little magnetized tag holder. I placed a photo mat in here, but you could add whatever you would like into this little pocket. I had some spare of the Easter eggs, and I wanted to pull that back in somewhere. So that just lives in this little pocket, which I will put back later. I won't fiddle with it on camera. So inside this pocket goes this photo mat, but you could add whatever you wanted here. I used some of this classic Easter egg hunt kind of paper on this side, and then this also magnetizes closed to reveal another section for photos here, and then some of this Easter bunny paper. So very, very simple album, like I mentioned before. I will try to have a tutorial up for you guys within the coming week or so, but this is just if you need a quick album. This one took me, I don't know, maybe an hour or two. Well, longer than that, probably an hour or two to paper mat and design everything. But the album itself took me maybe half an hour to construct, to bind and then create all the flaps. So I will have this tutorial up for you guys pretty soon, but I hope you enjoyed. If you are interested in this particular album, I will have it in my Etsy shop. I am going to reduce the price because I'm not happy with the quality of the materials. So if anybody is looking for a reduced priced album, you can find it on my Etsy shop. So thank you all for watching. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. You can find all of the links for that down below. I would very much appreciate it if you liked this video and subscribed. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.